Hello everyone, I am Jesse, or GameOverJesse. Welcome to the Hylian Gamescast. Our first topic for today is Nintendo E3. What's your first prediction? We'll go around, I guess, with two, and then a crazy off-the-wall prediction.
Okay.
So, what's your first?
Okay. So are we talking like pipe dream sort of predictions, or just like what I actually think will happen?
Well, two would be what you actually think, and then the third is the crazy.
All right. So I'll start with what I
Miyamoto puts himself as a DLC character in Smash Bros.
His final smashes, he invents his opponent.
No, he just cancels
Somehow,
your game.
He can't.
So you never existed.
He turns your game into Star Fox.
Kidding.
Okay, so one prediction. Ilya's gonna hate me for stealing this one from her. I genuinely think that coming up soon, they're gonna at least show us some Animal Crossing.
That actually wasn't the one I was gonna say, but
I'm not the Animal Crossing fan among us, but just gauging the timing of everything, I think that
it's been too long.
It's been too long. They've announced that it's happening. They haven't shown anything.
Back in September.
They did tease us though.
It was way back in September.
With Tom Nook lost the kids and. But yep. So that's just my favorite meme about Animal Crossing. Anyways, that's my first one. Do you want me to jump into the second one?
No, we'll rotate. So
yeah,
Ilya.
that's all I got for that. Ilya, take us away.
I think we are either going to get a release date for, or be given at the announcement something having to do with Cadence of Hyrule, because it said spring, and even though I don't understand why part of June is still considered spring, but that's because I'm a Floridian and it's stupidly hot year-round. Technically, spring does not end till June 20th, so it needs to come out soon. So I think with Cadence, they're either gonna be like, hey, it's gonna release June something around, or because E3 is in June, or they're gonna be like, hey, remember Cadence of Hyrule? Here it is, download it now.
They have a tendency to do that too.
Yeah.
It's like, it's out today.
Because I wonder if that's going to have a physical copy or not.
I don't think it will.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Tomb of the Necrodancer did.
Yeah.
Oh, exclusive.
Yeah, but I think this is going to sell like 10 times more than that did.
Oh, probably. Because
and it'll probably end up selling a lot of the original one that it's from, too, because people will be like, oh, what's this? Good advertisement for the indie game.
Oh, yeah.
It's true. So I could see them even doing a double release, like a physical
like bundle them together for like $30 or $40.
Yeah, that would pay. I'd pay for that.
Yeah, like you save $5 total or something if you buy both or something.
Yeah.
So something will happen with Cadence of Hyrule because spring is ending. So
even if Nintendo doesn't publish it, there are like limited edition publishers, like certain indie games will be published through like very limited releases. I want to say Shovel Knight did that, and some other games like Yooka-Laylee I think had some.
Did Shovel Knight?
I might
Shovel
be
Knight
mistaken.
did have some physical releases.
Yooka-Laylee's half off right now, and I'm really tempted to buy it.
Ooh, so am I.
Yeah, it's on half off for $20. So
still haven't bought it. So
I know.
Yeah, like Celeste is another indie game that had a physical release. And then if they publish Super Meat Boy, wow, that's not one I would have expected. If they do publish it, and it's like a rare limited edition type of game, I would like to see it come with like an amiibo of some sort. But I just want more Zelda amiibo.
More amiibos. Cool. So what's your prediction, Jessup?
I think this might sound odd at first, but it's not really that big of a prediction or crazy. Basically, I think we will see at least 3 Zelda games be talked about. So the spin-off Cadence of Hyrule, Link's Awakening, and I think there will be another one. Even if it's just like the Metroid Prime 4 treatment, to where they're like, and here's the title.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be something like that.
They usually delay like actually showing the title until much closer to the release.
Well,
now they do.
They do.
Like even
but
Zelda 64 was.
I want to say that they usually don't confirm something Zelda related is actually being worked on until like around the time that they do the whole title thing or a screenshot or something. But they've already announced that they're working on the next Zelda game, and Nintendo announced they were working on the next 2D Zelda game, whether or not that's Link's Awakening or Link's Awakening's being made by one of their other studios like Grezzo or whoever. And then Monolith Soft like publicly announced that they were hiring specifically for something Zelda related, and then like a week after they hired people, they announced that they created an entirely new team. So there's like 4 or 5 different Zelda things that they've told us is being worked on, and I expect, or at least would like to see at least a title or something that they would be like, yes, it's coming. Even if it's something like they did when Zelda Wii, as it was known, was first mentioned. It was at what is it called? Like Nintendo's round table thing where they're talking to investors, and it was something similar to what they did with Pokemon. Or not Pokemon, Metroid Samus Returns, to where like they had their Nintendo Direct, and then they had like something after, and they showed off the new Metroid game, and everyone was like, why is that not on the Direct?
The Treehouse live stream.
But they did something with Zelda Wii, where what would become Skyward Sword, to where they just showed off artwork of Link standing with his back turned, and then Fi was
no sword.
Yeah, and
supposedly.
It was even in the style of Twilight Princess. It wasn't even in the actual style of Skyward Sword. And they showed that off. And I remember at the time everyone was like, why wasn't this in the Nintendo Direct? Like,
because it's just something... one painting.
Yeah, like it was just a screenshot, but still, like, it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my thing. A third Zelda game being talked about.
Though I do agree. I think Link's Awakening is an inevitability. But,
absolutely.
Yeah. So I guess we're up to round 2 now.
Yeah.
My second prediction is not just the announcement of, but the release of the second Fighters Pass Smash Bros. DLC character.
Now you stole it.
Oh, did I? That wasn't the one I thought I was stealing from you. But
Animal Crossing was more of the pipe dream one.
Thank you, Sean.
Okay.
Sean in chat says, love your channel. I subscribed
this morning. Wow, so nice.
Which video made you subscribe?
Yes, tell us.
One of Ilia's.
Probably. I think that they'll pull that card where they're just like, this is the new character. Here's a whole bunch of info. He's out today.
Oh, wow.
Everyone's going to be like, oh, wow. And we're all going to be rushing to download it. Like, we're going to rush back to the Airbnb and download it.
I got it.
Except me.
I have something to add on to yours.
Okay.
I think they will have a thing where it's like, this is our new character, and he's available today. But I think they'll also tease or show off the next character. So, like, here's character number 2.
2 is out, and 3 is coming, basically?
Here's character number 3 that will release in a couple months or whatever. Because is it supposed to last for 1 year, the DLC pack, or is it supposed to be spread across 2 years?
I don't know, actually.
Because if it's
Smash 4's, I think, was spread over 2 years.
Yeah. Well, even if it's spread over 2 years, there's 5 characters.
Yeah.
So that would be 5 characters
6
over 2 years.
Count
How many months would that be in between?
like every 4 months.
Yeah,
so.
like every 4 to 5 months.
Yeah.
4, yeah.
So, Luke in the chat says, no Chewie. She's taking a brain break today. It's all
Yeah.
good.
Plus Game of Thrones was on earlier, so
Yeah,
or
that's-
now. I don't know when it's on.
I don't know, but yeah, I mean, like if anyone's like, anyone just drop it like that on the release date, that Nintendo does that all the time.
All the
including
time.
last year at E3 for the called the Octo expansion for Splatoon.
They released it
yeah.
at E3.
They released it, yeah. They had a bunch of trailers and stuff, and then they showed it off, and then they were like, it's out today, and we were all like, wow. At least Gibbs and I were downloading it right on the spot there.
I remember
Like the
everyone-
year
we were
before
trying
was the
to-
Breath of the Wild DLC, wasn't it?
But yeah, they were like, they showed a new trailer and they're like, hey, guess what, guys?
Oh,
like, we
yeah,
knew it was
yeah.
coming, so they didn't. They didn't announce it and then just drop it.
They gave
but
you
they
the extras though,
gave us the extras.
Yeah.
like the bonus stuff. That's like you
Oh,
had DLC
yes.
Pack 1, DLC Pack 2, but then you also had that Nintendo Switch shirt and something else.
Yes, they did that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Nintendo does this all the time, basically. Is what
Yeah.
they just are like, yeah.
But I'm
just
sure
drop it
everyone's
on the
wanting to
spot.
know, Daniel. You told us that you think they will show off and be like, here's the new DLC person, but who do you think it's going to be? And if they do a
honestly?
thing to where it's like, and here's number 3, expect in a few months, what do you think that would be?
Honestly, like there's so much I want to speculate, but lately, like Smash 4 onwards, I have not been able to predict the new characters. I have been so off the mark predicting the Smash Bros characters, like who they'll add to the roster. Like Little Mac, who would have thought that they would add Little Mac? And then they pull in like Cloud and Corrin and Bayonetta and just all these characters that I'm like, I never would have expected this. Like, holy cow. So I mean, I do think it'll probably be a third-party character of some kind, but like, yeah, they pull out these really fleshed out, really good characters. But like, would anyone here? No one can say that they expected Piranha Plant
No.
to be a Smash character. Like,
If they say that, they're flat out lying.
they're lying. Yeah.
No.
Like, there's some that make sense, like K. Rool. Okay, cool. Chrom, sure. Like a bunch of characters that were basically fighter costume.
Oh, Daniel, did you tell
Yeah.
Kayla about the fan art?
No, I didn't have to. She already retweeted
okay.
it. She already saw it.
Didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just thinking.
No, it's all good. I did have to text a screenshot of it to my wife though. But
What she said.
I was like, she hasn't replied yet,
Oh.
but
I was just
was
like, since Jorge or
Yeah.
George, let us know how to pronounce your name, because I don't want to keep saying George.
or George A. We can
George.
we can go
Yeah.
right in the middle
Because
there.
since he is live and he made Twitter just to send us, I was hoping, because he's seen our responses live, so I was just
True.
hoping that we could be like, oh, and Tubes said this, but apparently she retweeted it, so you can look on your Twitter.
She said, "I love the Chewbacca messenger bag you gave me." Except that in all caps. I just didn't feel like yelling. But it is fantastic. It is such good.
And I love that it's based on Wind Waker. I'm like, oh, that's like my favorite Zelda game. So
Really is
Great
right.
because both. I started it first,
Jorge.
but both Jublima and I started streaming Wind Waker on
Yeah.
Twitch as well. So
it's true.
not at the same time. We're not doing the race thing, or that wasn't the intention. So, but yes, there's a lot of Wind Waker on the brain lately. Because Jesse, you and Rick are doing Wind Waker as well, right?
Yeah.
In
Ooh.
Let's
Oh,
Race.
Rick hung out with the Commonwealth people today.
He was with Commonwealth, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
I hope we get to see Conrad again this year at E3. Because I know we're supposed to meet Ed, Mr. Zeltic, and
yeah, the
jealous.
chamber people, which I assume you guys will be coming with us, but we were trying to get like a big dinner with all of the chamber people, but then HMK posted something about him not going this year. So.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That's surprising.
Because he just went to Japan, so.
I mean, that's.
He's like, he ain't got money.
Yeah.
But where were we at? Predictions?
Right. Predictions,
Yeah.
right.
So,
anyways, you asked me who the fighter I would predict to be.
Yes.
No idea is my point. I have no idea. I'm sure if I did enough digging around, like people are saying things like Minecraft Steve is going to be it. I don't think so. I would love Banjo-Kazooie or Shovel Knight, but I know it won't be Shovel Knight because he's already a assist trophy.
Yeah. Well, if you remember last year, the president.
I think like an indie character probably. To be honest, like not even as a third-party character. I want to see an indie character, really, but.
What if, I doubt they would, but what if they put the main girl from Crypt of the Necrodancer?
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Or like Shantae is another one people are asking for a lot too.
Oh, I've heard that one, yeah.
Didn't they add a bunch of new stickers or assist trophies or something like a week or two ago?
Did they?
Because I remember I downloaded I downloaded an update and it was like, I don't know, whatever it said. I don't know. But there was like new stickers and stuff. And I didn't play anything to unlock them, so.
I would love Impa, honestly. As like almost like a heavier Echo fighter to Sheik.
Yeah.
But more of a balanced, heavier fighter, whereas Sheik is super lightweight in Smash.
Did you see the Ganondorf mod? For Zelda, or... I was going to say Zelda 64, for Smash Bros. 64.
I did see that. It was really well done.
Yeah.
I mean, they basically just took Captain Falcon and modded Captain Falcon with a Ganondorf skin and made him heavier. But to be fair, that's pretty much what Melee's Ganondorf was also. Like 100%. So it works perfectly.
There was a news story earlier about Smash Bros. But I didn't put it on the list because it was just like... I felt like it was the same. You know how I always talk about, like, I don't see why people, like, whenever they announce something, and then a few months later they'll announce the exact same thing, and everyone will cover it again as if it's still new information.
Yeah.
It was kind of the same thing where Sakurai was talking about how he decides what to use and, like, content that gets cut out or saved for the next game or whatever. And I'm like, I feel like he gives those same answers every time the game comes out. Or like every time a new Smash comes out, and then every, like, yeah.
Same with Zelda, you know? Because people are like, I want all of the stuff that they deleted from the game. I'm like, yeah, probably used it in the next game.
Yeah.
So you technically got it.
Like,
there was an interview with Onum I saw where basically someone was like, oh, or they I can't remember how long it was I saw this, but it was when he was talking about Wind Waker HD. So fans were asking me to put the cut dungeons back into the game, but to be honest, we already used them in other Zelda games, so there'd be no point. And I'm like, dang, yeah.
Just like the next Zelda game will probably have really awesome swimming mechanics, possibly.
That would be really nice. Okay, because I mean, the swimming in Twilight Princess was pretty passable, and then Skyward Sword was also decent.
Do you know what I really loved about Twilight Princess?
The
wolf.
Horse.
They made Link faster.
Faster.
Yeah, like when he's climbing, and I think when he has the iron boots and everything as well. Like he's not twice as fast, but he's like a fraction of the speed faster. Because.
But you know what I realized, like going back and playing on my Twitch, like a lot of older Zelda games and the N64 Zelda games, and now Wind Waker is, you know what? The sprinting in Breath of the Wild, I miss that. I will take sprinting over somersaulting everywhere any day.
Oh my gosh.
Do you guys want to see a weird email that I just got from someone who wants us to check out their game? This is literally the title of the email.
It's blurry.
It's blurry.
It's blurry? I bet you won't fall in love with flies this summer. Excuse me?
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about any of that.
That's their email for us to promote their game. I bet you'll fall in love with flies. And I'm like, no.
I don't think I will.
I won't.
You can get your flies and mosquitoes and your ladybugs and go away.
I'm in Florida. I get enough of that crap.
That's it.
There he is. Appalachian
That makes me
red
think,
fox.
I know we probably need to move on, but that makes me think I saw a really funny meme. I'm not. This makes me sound like I'm a horrible person, but this is how I am in my head.
Finally.
It said the one joy about summer is it gives me an excuse to slap people at random and blame it on mosquitoes.
Love it.
Like, I'm gonna start doing that to my customers. I'm just kidding.
Oh my goodness.
So,
Most of them are on the phone, so I can't do that.
question for you guys. Third up in the chat is Appalachian Red Fox. I'm sure you all have seen, in 99% of the videos, he posts that same thing.
Yes.
Even when it's not a podcast, he'll still say it's the best.
Everything. The best.
Yeah. Right now he says the best Hylian's Gamescast in the world, but sometimes he's like, this is the best YouTube channel in the world, this is the best Zelda channel in the world, best Zelda podcast. Does he go to your guys' videos?
I have no idea. I don't think I've noticed him.
The only person who watches my video is Chicken G.
Yeah.
So, they're the only ones.
So
I watch
Ilya,
the music videos.
what's your second thing, Ilya?
Yes.
My second thing. It's not... I had like 3 things written down as things that I was like, okay, this is 4 things, excuse me, that I was like, this is probably definitely going to be said. Animal Crossing was already mentioned. The Smash DLC, whatever I said last time, Cadence. I know we kind of touched on it, but I feel like there's got to be something. Actually, no, something new. Something about Pokemon Sword and Shield. Maybe. I don't know for sure. That might be a separate thing.
No, I think you're right. I don't know why I didn't even think of it.
Well, it doesn't have to be just at E3. It could be like, not at least something at E3, but not just their Direct.
It's supposed to come out this year, like end of this year.
Probably around the same time Let's Go did.
So
yeah, Let's Go games came out last year, and they had a big section of their E3 show floor just Pokemon. The one we never got to go to because the wait time was like 4 hours to get into the line to wait another 3 hours.
Yeah.
But we skipped.
I don't know if they'll make it as big of a deal as the Let's Go games, because I know the point of advertising those so hardcore was to get some new people or old Pokemon players back into it.
Mm-hmm.
So now they might be like, okay, we're going to have an easier time advertising this. But I feel like there's a good chance they're going to at least talk about it somewhat. I mean, I know Game Freak could do their own thing, but, you know.
Oh.
So there could be something about Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Do you think it'll be during the Direct, or do you think it'll just be like its own thing? Like how whenever they showed off Sun and Moon for the first time, they had like 2 hours of it on the treehouse.
Was it 2 hours?
I don't know.
Well, they had like the one year the treehouse was dedicated to Breath of the Wild, and the next year was the year they were like Metroid 3DS, and they showed it like it began with that for like 15 minutes, and then they just played Pokemon the rest of the time.
I think it depends on what they're going to be showing off. If they're going to be giving maybe a release date and only a release date, then maybe it would just be part of the Direct. But I feel like it would have its own separate thing if they're going to start showing off more of the newer Pokemon. I mean, maybe they could fit that into a Direct, but I don't know. It seems like the Directs are usually pretty jam-packed, so they might give that its own separate thing if they're going to be showing off the newer Pokemon. I don't know. I haven't been in the Pokemon world long enough to really be sure, because I was in it when my brothers had Red and Blue, and I played Yellow because Pikachu, and that's all I cared about. Didn't know what was happening, and I did like Stadium and Snap, and now I've done Let's Go, so I can't speak on that too much. So I don't know.
Pokemon is odd in the sense that they had...
It is odd.
No, so in Japan they had Red and Green Pokemon.
Yeah.
And then they had Blue and Red. And then they came out with Yellow.
And Bulbasaur is my favorite
and
of those 3 starters.
The first generation didn't, like the first generation didn't release in America. But I think they did the same thing with Pokemon Stadium, to where they had a Pokemon Stadium that only had like a limited number, and then they released a second Pokemon Stadium that had the full roster of Red and Blue, and then they had the actual Gold and Silver Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I remember we had both. I wonder, maybe I don't want to go too off topic, but I wonder because it seems like most releases of Pokemon games have had like a random third. Red and Blue had Yellow. And I can't remember any of the other ones off the top of my head because I feel like Ruby and Sapphire had Emerald. So
Yeah.
I'm like, what would the third thing for Sword and
Crystal
Shield be?
for
Not
Golden
because
Gun.
not all of. See, I was
Wait, what did
thinking
you say?
like bow and arrow or
Gun.
something.
Arrow actually sounds really cool.
I could because
but-
I'm just wondering. I mean, not every dual release of Pokemon, which they're all dual releases. Not every single one of them's had them. I had this conversation with my brother, which is why I thought about this. But I'm like, what would they do for Sword and Shield?
I can see
that magazine that accidentally advertised Sword, Shield, and Gun. Still the funniest like Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like,
and then they had
they goofed that one.
I mean, they legit like got rid of episodes of Pokemon that had guns in.
Yeah, exactly.
I realistically think that the third for Sword and Shield, because like a few days after they announced Sword and Shield during the podcast, Daniel and I were talking, and I was thinking that if they took it literal, then they could have like the new animated Pokemon movie that's coming out is like a retelling of Mewtwo, but it's not just Mewtwo, it's the armored Mewtwo from like when he was made and he's wearing like the gear to suppress his power or whatever. And it made me think like, are they going to take the Sword and Shield stuff literal? And like they're calling it Sword and Shield and they're going to like basically use it as armor. And then like the next week we ended up talking about how Nintendo had filed trademarks for armored Mewtwo. And then with its third game, because I can't really think of anything that's as catchy as Sword and Shield, so I wonder if it would be Pokemon Armor. Because like
Helmet.
yeah, but like Helmet, like that's the thing that like Helmet doesn't sound as catchy.
No, and like the only other thing from like the time, like medieval-ish time period of like Sword and Shield, I could think of was like archery, but I'm like, how do you bow,
Pokemon Archer,
arrow?
I don't know.
Arrow.
But the thing is, the past few years they stopped doing the third game because they realized they could just make more money by releasing 2 more additional Pokemon games instead of just 1. So like instead of Red, Blue, and Yellow, and Gold, Silver, and Crystal or whatever, Platinum,
Something like that.
Yeah.
Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald.
Yeah, they started having Black, White. Everyone thought they were going to have Gray. They ended up releasing Black, White 2. Then they had XY. Everyone thought they were going to have Z. But then they ended up just releasing like the chapter Z or something like that as like an end game for the next remake they made. So Alpha Ruby or Omega Sapphire, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was like ultra versions of
and then they
other
had
games.
the Z Crystal or whatever, and like the chapter Z, which was like after you beat the game, it was just like a end game chapter. And then Sun and Moon, everyone thought they were going to do Stars or whatever, or Eclipse, and then they just ended up doing Ultra Sun and Moon. So I could see them just doing a thing where it's like Sword and Shield 2, or Ultra Sword and Ultra Shield or whatever.
Because I remember thinking like, they could release Star, and then I was like, no, the sun is a star.
Yeah.
So
Yes. If you want
like
to get
celestial body, asteroid, well, that could be the moon. But Jesse, what's your second prediction?
Yeah, Jesse. Sheesh.
Okay.
Sorry.
Going back with Pokemon, I think Detective Pikachu 2 or Detective Pikachu Deluxe or whatever for the Switch. So like HD version of Detective Pikachu, because the Detective Pikachu movie did so great. And they may even, like if they had the extra money, I don't know. I'm sure Pokemon and Game Freak, or the Pokemon Company and Game Freak and Nintendo, I know they do have the extra money. And so I think they could possibly even, I don't know if they would do it. I don't know if fans would like it. But I was just thinking if they recast Detective Pikachu and had Ryan Reynolds do the voice like he did in the movie, and then
Or he literally is saying in the chat. In the chat.
oh
In-game voice,
yeah,
boom, millions sold instantly.
yeah, There
And
you
Ryan
go.
Reynolds would probably do it if they paid him enough. He would be like, yeah, my voice is in a freaking video game.
Oh, he'd love it, I'm sure.
yeah.
I
well,
mean, just, it's Ryan Reynolds.
well, I was
Yeah.
thinking if they would have thought ahead of time, like while he was doing the lines for the Detective Pikachu movie, they could have just had him do lines for the game at the same
Yeah,
time.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. And then a lot of games you don't even go, like I'm sure he did for the movie, but a lot of voice actors will like go to their extra room or their closet where they have like a makeshift recording studio.
Depending on the level of the project.
Yeah.
Yeah, depending on what it is. Low level stuff like commercials and whatnot, they might just have you do the stuff I do. They're like, do you have a good studio? Great. I'm like, yes, it's called my closet.
Yeah, but that would be my second thing, is like some sort of Switch version of Detective Pikachu. Because I seen earlier they said that, well, they've been interviews for like, since the movie came out, about the writers and the directors being like, yeah, we would love to make like a Zelda movie or a Metroid movie or a Smash Bros movie, or like, we have ideas for everything. And I'm like, sure you do. Because who doesn't want to be like, it's great enough being the people that made the first live action official Pokemon movie, but it would be something else entirely to be like, we made the first like theatrical Zelda movie. I would say the first theatrical Mario movie, but that was done about 20 years ago.
Yeah, but
They need to leave my Zelda alone.
I think Illy and I are the only people on the same page about this. Just,
I know!
I think we're the only people who are just like,
Well,
oh, a Zelda movie? Nah.
I get it. I
None
get
for me.
asked about it on my stream all the time, and I'm like, guys,
You have a video.
the
about
very
it.
first video on my
They
channel.
They can go watch the video.
Because people will, like, comment, and I know that they have, like, the best of intentions, but they're like, oh, I have such a good idea for a Zelda movie, and I'm like, I don't...
Yeah, it's such. Oh no.
Ilya,
Just,
Oh,
you
she's
froze.
You froze. Like that's how much you were against the idea. You just cut. Your internet cut right out.
I
I know.
have an actual real script that was presented to Nintendo for a Zelda movie. So
By who? Did you write the script?
no,
Or?
it was
Okay.
Oliver
Who? Oh, really?
that directed that Zelda scene
Yeah.
where they're like in the church basement for the dungeon thing.
With Orion
Yeah,
as Link.
I will say I enjoyed that, except for Navi.
that was one scene out of an entire script.
Yes, but
And, yeah.
I mean, Orion was. I mean, he played the role. Playing it's hard to say, like playing Link is like good.
That's why
because
I'm laughing, because
Yeah.
he's just silent the
But
whole
the thing
time.
is that pretty much the thing is that he had to play that whole scene and express everything with no dialogue, and he nailed it. And
Yeah.
that, as an actor, that's hard to
Yeah.
just have no dialogue but have to still express everything
The
that you're
irony
feeling. Like
is him
Yeah.
being a singer for a band, to where like he makes a living traveling around.
using his voice.
Yeah, he makes a living using his voice around the world, and
Whoa, totally.
he gets
that is
cast
really
in
funny.
a movie, and they're like, "Okay, where's my
No.
lines at?"
Good for you.
None.
No, we just
but,
needed your pretty face. Just sit there and
Just emote.
And the girl that was Sheik was really good, too.
She was really good. Yeah, I was.
I was like, don't give me a whole movie of this, but this scene is excellent.
Yeah. No, that seems.
this was a great 2 minutes.
And again, like there were you can make good scenes. There's another really good fan made project. It's like it's called like You Met with a Terrible Fate.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh,
yeah.
the brilliant
It's basically-
Shadow Fox says, I want a Zelda movie made by Nintendo and Studio Ghibli for $5. Thank you.
Studio Ghibli is a good choice.
There
Also,
was
thank you.
a
Super
fan
chat.
trailer made in like the style of Studio Ghibli for Breath of the Wild.
Oh, I think I've seen that.
It was pretty cool.
But
You should
here's
go
the
watch
thing
it,
is like
Shadow
Zelda,
Fox.
Studio Ghibli films are very
They have very good looking food.
melancholic. They do have very good looking food, but there's a lot of melancholy in those films. And there's not as much in Zelda. I don't know. I think it could work if I really had to be like, this is the way. That
Right.
would be a good choice. But again, I'm of the camp of like they just shouldn't make a Zelda.
Right. It's like just it's not gonna be the
Don't.
same because it's not a game, and Zelda's supposed to be a game. I'm all for if the aesthetic of Zelda inspired a movie where they had like almost like Easter eggs that were like these are hints of how it was inspired by The Legend of Zelda, but
Yeah.
it's not The Legend of Zelda.
But okay, Jorge in the chat says the director, the character is actually mute. If they had to make the Zelda movie, you cannot make Link mute. You can't do it. He
You
has
can't.
to talk.
It'll ruin
He
it.
has to talk. He
He has
just
to meow.
has to. Of course. You can't.
Because he does
I just
talk
thought
in
of
the
a
games, you
perfect scene
just
where
don't
they could
hear
do
it.
that.
That's the thing, yeah. But it's
He's just a very introspective
Yeah. So
portrayed
Link
character.
sneaks into Ganon's castle to steal something, or to take back something that was stolen, and Ganon and the Moblins or Bokoblins, whatever they use, are all just like, "Did you guys hear something?" And it's Link like next to the wall, and he just makes a meow sound. They just go back to doing whatever.
they're like, okay.
Okay,
That's-
another quick funny side story. One of my best friends was appeared in one of my most recent videos. The way we met was through one of our mutual best friends. And literally the first thing she said to me, because she was like, "This is so and so." I was like, "Hi, I'm blah blah blah." First thing she said to me, she went, "Meow." And I was like,
wow.
4 years later, we are best friends.
Nice.
I was like, what is wrong with her?
I don't see the problem, but
She was also wearing a onesie. And now I wear onesies.
Nice.
there you go.
Are we on to our pipe dream predictions?
Yeah, Daniel.
Oh
you can
yeah,
go.
sorry. Pipe dream predictions. I think it's too soon. If they hadn't have restarted, basically, I wouldn't think it's too soon. But because they did, I do think it's too soon. But I really want Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
Please, Nintendo. Just give me something. So yeah, that's my pipe dream prediction. It's just
I
like
don't-
in theory they could have something to show. Even
If they've worked
concept
quick
art and
enough.
stuff. Yeah.
Well,
I don't
They probably
see-
don't.
Metroid taking nearly as long as Breath of the Wild did.
No.
Okay, no, not as long as Breath of the Wild did, but still, Metroid.
I could see it taking 2 to 3 years to completely finish, as opposed to
I mean-
5 or 6.
It took them a few years to do the first Prime game and the third one.
Yeah.
Metroid Prime 2, I think, was developed in like 1 year, which is insane. But they pretty much
It was
just
supposed to be Metroid 1.5.
it,
We covered that
was.
in the video.
There's some really neat cut concepts for Metroid Prime 2, but including a rogue AI ship thing, which I thought is a really cool idea. But they were able to reuse so much from Prime 1, much like Majora's Mask, that
cookie.
they were able to. The cookie?
Yeah. Because the people at Metroid Prime or Metroid Prime 2, they had like the cookies they sent out to press whenever they reviewed the game. It was like Metroid Prime cookies. And some people kept them, so they're like 20-year-old moldy cookies. Like, but they're still wrapped up, so it probably doesn't stink, but it's still horrible.
It's still an old cookie.
I would honestly be even more concerned if it's lasted.
Oh yeah.
If it has knock-on bad.
If it
oh,
has
yeah.
not gone bad, that's even more concerning because
That's
it's
like
like, what's
Way
in that?
concerning.
There's the the video someone made a few years ago of like they threw a McDonald's cheeseburger on the street, and like a few days later, like it hadn't done, or not a few days, but like a week later, it wasn't like moldy or anything on the bread or cheese.
That's really concerning.
Like it looked almost the same. So.
Wow. I've seen that actually where someone did a comparison. They took a bunch of food and like basically put it in a jar and let it go bad just to see like how fast food goes bad. And then like the McDonald's food just like it just took like a ridiculously long time to even change how it looked.
Yeah. It's like even
That's why
bread.
I haven't had McDonald's in 11 years.
It's bread. How do you make bread horrible?
Abigail in the chat, yeah, pretty much. But Abigail in the chat says, "How realistic do you think Metroid is as an E3 announcement?"
Yeah.
Yes, we will get back to that. But Ilya, what's your pipe dream?
Oh gosh, I had two. What were they? Oh my gosh, I had two. Okay. One is that, I mean, I guess this can fall under my dreams / it is a possibility, and that's Animal Crossing. I would love it if Animal Crossing, and for me it would be like show off stuff, release date. Because there's almost a part of me that I'm like, hey, we're getting close to the point where if they don't show something soon about it, I'm worried it's going to be pushed back to 2020. Which I would rather be pushed back than release a bad game. But I'm like, they got to show something soon. I would love a release date and for it to be soon, like before winter or autumn. That's heavily dreaming. And then this other thing I just randomly thought of. Nothing's happened with like Mario Kart in a long time, but I was just thinking the other day when I was talking to my brother, I'm like, why haven't they brought back the concept of Double Dash? Why has that not been brought back? Literally everyone loves it. So I don't know. That's just like completely out of left field, whatever. Out of left field, that's what I meant to say. Out of left field, but I just want something Double Dash related because it's been a long time. I don't think anything like that would ever happen, but I just think it should happen.
Yes.
I was gonna say
like a game mode option in Mario Deluxe, just like a double
Gives
dash
the option.
mode. I mean, you could do it in Mario Tennis. Why not in Mario Kart? You could
I
play
mean,
singles
even
and
if they
doubles.
have to make it like they did with like Super Mario Party, where you have to use a horizontal Joy-Con or something, but
Right.
still, like just
Something,
just do it.
That would be cool.
I mean, I'd understand if they were also like, you couldn't do this in online mode. That it's like, but still.
Still.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse, what is your dream?
Tell us, Jesse.
I got a dream. I got some dreams. I just want to see the floating lanterns gleam.
Jesse, hurry, Jesse.
I will just say the Metroid Prime trilogy that we've seen 1,000 probably fake rumors for.
And HD Zelda ports. I
Oh
will
yeah,
want
can I
that.
change my dream? My dream is the
You
Zelda
have-
collection.
You know you're not allowed. You're not a human person. You're
One-
who's allowed
one
to change
dream.
your mind.
One dream per person. That's all you get. That's it.
This is a podcast.
Well, I
don't
did
worry
true.
about this.
I did true. I did too. So
Oh, well, I guess I should have noticed. You gotta choose one to axe.
I can't be a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Right, so
But yes,
I guess we're ready
Zelda
for the
ports
second
are
thing.
good as well. All of these are good ideas. So,
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Zelda, come on. Nintendo, just listen.
come on, Nintembos.
Nintembos.
So are we ready for the next thing?
Yes, take us away. What's
Yes.
the next
Okay,
thing,
so it's
Jesse?
the Zelda rumor thing.
Zelda
Okay.
rumors.
So
This is almost, but only almost related to the video I put on my channel today. as well.
Yeah, the retrospective.
Exactly.
These are old rumors, obviously, because it's for
Does
Zelda
it
Wii U.
say September 4th, 2012?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at
Zelda
the right
coming
thing.
in 2014 will... oh boy.
Yeah, so I thought it would be fun to look through this, and
Whoa.
and in the same way that we've looked at theories and been like, well, this could be true or this is stupid. Look at this and see how the early rumors were for it, and compare that to the rumors that we kind of see now. But there really aren't any rumors for the next Zelda game, because everything that we know is stuff that's not necessarily rumors, but stuff that they've actually told us. So
I will say, just for perspective, Zelda Wii U, as it was known, was supposed to be released right after I graduated high school, going into my gap year, and it was released my senior year, or right before my senior year of college.
Nice.
Dang.
So it's like, wow, that took a while.
Although, I think even when it was announced, did they say 2014 or 2015?
I thought they said 2015.
Yeah, I thought it was 2015.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was just thinking. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
hang on a second.
It's the beginning
And then it
of my
had, like,
sophomore
3 or
year,
4
but still.
delays.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready?
See?
Yes.
All right.
Hey everyone, it's me again, Elia Rose. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video. And you know what? If you're a fan of videos like this, you should totally subscribe and give this video a like and comment below to let us know what type of videos you would like to see us create in the future. And if you would really like to support all of us here at the GameOverJesse channel, please consider purchasing a GameOverJesse t-shirt or becoming a Patreon at patreon.com/GameOverJesse, where you can receive many rewards, such as getting shoutouts, having any topic or theory that you select discussed on the podcast or made into its own video, having your question answered, joining on as a guest on the podcast, and playing with us during our Twitch live streams at twitch.tv/GameOverJesse, and much, much more.